They say Donald Trump and them was fussing at the little meeting he had with the Republicans. They said Donald Trump mad. Why would he be mad? He fucking up the most. And that's crazy. Always be the motherfuckers. That's it. Donald Trump was mad with the Republicans and they got into a shopping match. I wonder how that went. All a bunch of old white guys arguing. No, Donald. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. What's going on, man? What's up with y'all? Let's see here. Yeah. Shout out everybody coming through, showing BMC that support. What's going on? How's your evening? How's your morning, depending on what part of the globe? Are you tired of capitalism? Is the conversation. Because I'm telling you, buy has been the norm. Not the new norm, not the old norm, the norm. You ain't getting it unless you pay for it. How they just can haggle for anything in America. Nothing's free and everything's a product, including you. If you understand it, America is a corporation. The number one product that they create is Americans. Okay, smash that like. So the conversation today is Trump versus socialism. High food, gas prices, capitalism at its finest. Because it's a certain amount of price gouging. I do believe they go on with all of that stuff. But are Americans tired of it? As an American, are you tired of this? You know what I mean? Buy culture. You can't even, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be the strongest, most powerful, trendiest country in the world. And you got to pay for everything. You don't get no fresh benefits, no incentives for being American. But the privy to pay taxes. So that's the conversation today. What's your opinion on it? Do you agree? Capitalism is the American way. Make money, get money. Are you more on the side of the democratic socialists with it should be shared and nobody should be rich, and if you do manage to get rich, you should bear the most of the cost of what's going on. That's crazy right there. That's crazy, but because some people say out of democratic socialism comes communism. So, and that's dang on a dictatorship to me. So, I just say let's have this conversation. Are you tired of capitalism? Because if you're tired of capitalism, democratic socialism is the first alternative. What's going on, Numis? Hey, Numis, was you in a golf cart? Yeah, I'm having a good day, fam. I'm having a good day, Numis. Was you in a golf cart out there riding around doing your thing? That's what it is. Beautiful country too. Beautiful area, man. Dope. I like that. That water on that lake, man. What's the name of that lake or that water entity, that body of water that you were near, Numis? And how's your day today? Yeah, I'm doing good. Hey, okay. I know you're in Canada, and we just got a bunch of smoke from Ontario. Did y'all get any of it? That hover around, is that what it is? Remember that commercial? Hover around. The mobility scooter. Okay. Okay. And you say I love not being a slave. Okay. So is that in reference to capitalism or democratic socialism or communism in the reference of not being a slave? Eli says, hey man, it's a beautiful day by the lake in Michigan. Hope you're doing good. Yep. Which lake? The Lone Ranger. Hi-yo, Silver. What's going on, Lone Ranger? Chilling, family. Okay, y'all getting the smoke from in more ways than one, because you know that BC, if you say that to a weed smoker, you're going to think you're talking about that good weed from out of there. We're in the wet zone, but we had literally a month of solid rain. Okay. That's what it is. Lone Ranger, what's going on? Any of y'all, take a shot at this. Is anybody here tired of capitalism, where you got to pay for everything? Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Double tap that stream. Are you tired of capitalism? Woo. Last week, this time, this area was flooded. Beans and rice. So is your alternative, is your go-to democratic socialism? Is that your go-to alternative? Or what would you have a solution for the replacement of capitalism? Smash that like, y'all. XRP, world free speech. That's what it is. You saying we need to invest in XRP? That's what it is. Smash that like, y'all. No, capitalism is the way to go. Socialism eats up funds and doesn't replace it. Okay, Numis. So Numis, how does capitalism, how does communism play in the come into play with the socialism? Would you say that after some substantial amount of time, socialism transforms into communism, as they say? Newman says capitalism also gives you the incentive to work, where socialism makes you lazy, right? And also, socialism says if you work hard and become wealthy, you will be the, you know what I mean, the caretaker of everybody else who haven't reached that status. Take it from the rich, okay? Smash that like. Yeah, I'm familiar with Bass Reeves, the real Long Ranger. You know, I'm gonna tell you something new, but you know, it ain't been a rock unturned. Um, Black nationalism spurned a lot of people to, you know what I mean, go investigate stuff. Yeah, Bass Reeves. Okay. Ellis says there's a different alternative: JFK tax policy and consumption tax instead of income tax. Teddy Roosevelt the shit out of big tech and become a isolationist. No H1Bs either. That's how you fix it, right? That isolationist stuff worked right before World War I. And in between, also, we were isolationists, sort of like when Japan, before they allowed the Christians and all those people to come back in. And sometimes that works because it strengthens the bond. Like when right before desegregation, the segregated black community, out of their segregation from the mainstream America, was able to create a you know uh, horizontal money machine, you know, exchanging hands amongst them. They completed their own, you know what I mean, they had their own interests, their own barbers, their own dentists, their own supermarkets, you know what I'm saying? Smash that like, y'all. So what's the alternative? That's why I'm saying, because the Republicans and the Democrats are falling out of favor. So the other alternative is the Democratic Socialists, or the other groups like MAGA. There's so many heritages and foundations that are like their own political organizations. The Green Party, the Tea Party. It's room for groups like that to get in where they fit in. You know what I mean? So, because I see the Democrats and the Republicans as becoming a old school thing. No, everybody is branching out from under the umbrella of these two main groups. And I'm telling you, Just like in DC and LA right now, their people are democratic socialists that are in power. It makes you self-reliant, and your entire supply chain is internal, like the 40s and the 60s, richest point in America history per household. Okay, right, and that's when we depend on each other. When we need the dairies, when we need the farms. You know what I'm saying? Well, we, you know what I mean? But right now, it'll first of all, we need more factories because what it is back then, that's what our economy was based off of: factory workers and laymen, factory workers and salesmen of any product or widget were the main two things that, you know what I mean, coincided. Now we would need to create the whole infrastructure again because everything shut down. The mill shut down. F-150 is in Mexico. And everything we got in our house, you look up underneath of it, see where it's made in China. We will have to get back on our production. And we saw the, you know what I mean, like people that sell stuff on eBay or all these other sites. That's the American way. We done went and freelance everything. Smash that like, y'all. You say you tell every kid I see go be an electrician. I got a Cadillac factory next to where I live, and they only had 1 point of their parking lot because that's all they need. You know, Cadillac is damn near automated, and I wouldn't go try to get a job there because shit, in a couple of goddamn months they probably be closing that down. You know, they sublet, leasing and sublet and everything. If you look at them new Cadillacs, they just like them Pontiac vans that came out at one time. They look just like them shits. I'm telling you right now, but you better tell them to go get a degree in AI or a certificate in AI. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me up. Right, yeah, I'm telling you. Fambo, what's up? But I'm telling you, we don't have no factories. We don't have no candy factories. We don't even have candy stores. We got replenishment centers. We don't have nothing. It's American made. Maybe we'll get it and assemble it. Nothing here, even with that's why they wanted TikTok, because TikTok is linked to the Temu algorithm. America ain't like that shit because a great deal of that money that's being made in America is going outside of the country by way of Temu and all, like I said, like these global replenishment places where you can get the shit wholesale. You can go see we see what they turned us into is our own corporations. Now we can get the stuff from Temu, which I'm gonna tell y'all something. The same shit you go in a store in America and buy it, you can get it off of Temu with no brand on it. Have you ever thought about it? In the same product, but like 1/3 of the price. Because now what they did was give you the chance to buy it directly from the wholesaler, from the, you know what I mean, from the house. You notice, check out your areas. Only in places where it's a huge tourist area do they even have the flea market situation where you go and buy something, you know what I mean, at a different price. Maybe you might catch a bunch of new shit out there. But this shit, Timu has allowed you to really go past capitalism and go straight to the distributor. You feel me? Smash that like. Trump versus socialism. Trump is capitalism at its finest. He just made a couple of billion. Okay? And I say people are going to get tired of that because he was on TV laughing about it. When there are people that are saying MAGA and Trump ain't got MAGA signs in their yard, but their bills are late. Their house triple mortgaged. You know what I'm saying? They penny pinching, and Trump is on TV laughing with a couple of billion. Fuego Glass America that took over a abandoned General Motors assembly plant in Moraine, Ohio. So it's not a Cadillac plant over there no more. Fam, that ain't a Cadillac plant no more. That's crazy. Yeah, in my area we had the F-150 plant. That joint went to Mexico. Well, what's going on? Hey, Austin back. How you doing? Like I say, without capitalism or socialism, we would not have the fast society. But which one you think is more marketable for Americans to live under? Rainy, you say you tired of the government. That's what it is, Rainy Day. Brad says, if you want a triple mortgage, that's their own fault. No Trumps make better life choices. Not Trumps make better life choices, Brad. Oh shit! But you know, when they took away all these factories and shit, man, that brought the fucking the shit to their knees. People couldn't send their kids to college and all that shit because the factory left, and that was like one of the money makers in the ecosystem in those areas. So it left the area at a lean, where those people they depended on to sell a certain amount of houses every year, and for this lady to patronize this place and them to get their groceries there because they, you know what I mean, is that Ford plant money. When that Ford plant get out of there, that's why I try to explain to you why white people are the number one recipients of subsidies and food stamps and SNAP, because in that little area in the Appalachians, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, them little spots right there, and these other little rural places where the factory left, there's the company store is not honoring their their credit anymore. So the government is taking care of a great deal of them, whereas people that are in the suburbs, not rural, but the suburbs and the city, the urban, they can go get a decent hustle, even if it's at its lowest level where there's no contact with corporation, business, or anything in those little like the Appalachians and you know what I mean, them little spots, man. Do I think we should? No, I don't think we should have to save that. No, I do not. Saving us from what? Clean energy facilities like Canadian Solar Cell Plant in Jeffersonville, Indiana, produce solar technology components on American soil. Right, Fina, I'm gonna tell you something. That solar energy stuff, they've been dealing with that for a minute. You notice more people got solar panels on their house than a little bit now. More people got solar panels on their house than a little bit. Remember, it was just that one house in the neighborhood? America started by people moving across an ocean, moved to where there are jobs. Poor excuses. America started by people that got brought here because they either owed money, signed a contract to find precious materials and sent it back, or was escaping religious or political persecution. They didn't just come over here on a vacation and say, I think I'll stay. No, they was forced out of wherever they was at. Remember, the first Americans were not lit. Nicole's thoughts. What's up with you? What's going on with you? How's your day? How's your day? Y'all do realize that people that came over here to start America under the European banner, they came over here under duress too. So stop making it seem like they can't. Oh, I think I'll stay. Shit, man, that's a hard question because I draw a paycheck. If I owned a business, okay, socialism. Why? Because I hate paying taxes on top of taxes. They take business from my pay, then tax me again and again. But are you also aware that if you own the business, that when you reached a certain amount where you were looked at as wealthy or rich or well off with your business that you created, they would then look at you to pay those taxes. Not until then. Okay? Do you realize that? And that's dealing with socialism. They say they get all the funding from the rich. So who is the rich? You feel me? So because if you're a socialist, your whole object is to get the money from the rich. So the people who delve to be different are the ones that are gonna you know what I mean, end up paying. And who wants to keep paying? Like you said, you don't even want to pay taxes. So you want to carry everybody else that's poor on your back. America started by stealing stuff off they did not belong. Yep, yep. Also, once you reach a certain point, taxes don't even matter. Like, who cares you made so much money that the amount you pay in taxes is almost irrelevant? Well, James, if you a socialist, they'll matter because they specifically tell you that that's where they're going to get their money from. They're going to tax the rich. So that's going to create a glass ceiling. Nobody is going to be wanting to be rich because that's a sure way to get it taken from you. You know what I mean? Do you understand that? Socialists say tax the rich, tax the rich. So all of y'all entrepreneurs out there that want to have something, they want the mansion in the yard and the big cane corso dog, and you want your shorty all jeweled up and your kids going to the finest schools. Remember, with democratic socialism, that doesn't play a part in it. You know what I'm saying? Living you is the same thing when you look out your window and everybody got an F-150 and a garage on their house and all that shit. That's exactly what democratic socialists it claims is offering equality. That's not the American way, in my opinion. The American way is get in when you fit in. It's out there, so go indulge and get it. If they come, I just feel like democratic socialism is changing the concept of America. America is built off of entrepreneurs, and you know what I mean. Also, once you reach a certain, yeah, but the taxes, they're gonna get it out you. You know what I mean? One way or another, they're gonna get them taxes out your ass. They're gonna get them taxes out your ass. Smash that like, y'all. See, a lot of people, you gotta understand this. Chilling, 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 Pitt. What's up with you? I'm just cooling. What you got going on today? Y'all double tapping that stream, fam. Carvin, what you think? Are you tired of capitalism? Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Okay, you took a mental health day off. Okay. It's like that sometimes. It's like that sometimes you need to take a break. You know what I'm saying? You need to get up in the stars. That's how I do. James says, I find funny with socialism, all these people, I want to free this and I want to free whatever, don't realize it means increase taxes, therefore it's not free because you pay for it by taxes. Right. That's what I'm saying. And anybody that wants to ever be an entrepreneur, that takes the fun out of it because now once if you do become super successful, you're gonna be public enemy number one. You say you tired of living in a divided ass country. Do you got any solutions, Pitt? When the last time you played that goddamn guitar, boy? Picking green. When the last time you been playing? You probably play every day. When the last time you been playing that guitar? And if you got a link to where you was playing it, you know you can drop that link, right? Smash that like. Shout out all my fellow Americans, like my boy Steve says. John, sure, I understand we all pay taxes, but just how much money does the rich really need? I remember the day you could buy 7 items for $1. It's really greed part of the story. But it ain't about the rich. I asked you about you mean the wealthy because the rich is just like me and you, people who amass a war chest. Don't you want to be rich? That's the American dream. Don't you want to reap the benefits of all of your hard-earned labor and not give it to your boss? That's the American dream, fam. Actionable steps include reducing partisan division through civic engagement, updating democratic rules like redistricting, and expanding economic pathways for non-college workers. Right. Make sure the regular people could get some money. Okay. You say you try to play every day, but sometimes the inspiration just ain't there. Okay. That is so crazy. That's how it is, though. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Smash that like. And y'all know the eagle flies on Friday. So uh before you go give all that money away, the eagle just don't drop on y'all. Make sure you get to your respective communities and give some up to some entrepreneur before you give it all to corporate America. And that's the thing too. They give you all these crazy ideas about corporate America, price gouging and getting all this money off of you, and then it makes you disgruntled. And then on the flip side, those of us that don't understand democratic socialism, and somebody tells you about it, they make it seem like this crazy plan to get everybody free health care and everybody rich and everybody living the same, in which it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's basically designing, from what I'm looking at, as making the government and everybody run off the bare minimum. And each state is basically its own country now. You know what I mean? We are. That's why it's called the Confederation, the United States, because all of them are united in agreement on things. But basically, each state is its own now. But only thing is, all of them put in the same pot and take care of each other. But each one of these states have their own ecosystem, their own economic system, their own data and analytics, and different reasons why they make money. They all their own. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So in the essential, it is all different nations, but it seems to work. I mean, no, I don't think socialism is a concept. It's not a fight for civil rights. Socialism is a concept. You know, it's no less like living in a democracy. I mean, socialism is that type of situation. Smash that like. Thanks for that, Nicole Thoughts. How are you today, Nicole Thoughts? If y'all ain't got over there and check out Nicole Thoughts, you need a few positive affirmations. Get over there and check this out. Smash that like, y'all. But yeah, socialism ain't got nothing to do with basic human rights. I mean, nope. You trying to make it. You trying to make it some kind of humanitarian. That's a political idea. Socialism is, and I say it's the baby, the grown up version of it is communism, and then the super grown up version is communism led by a cult of the personality. Like we living in a capitalistic world right now, where we ran by a capitalistic government, easy to get money or you ain't with us, and it's ran by a, you know what I mean, strong man. Donald Trump is not being the president right now. The president is more, you know, people friendly. He ain't nobody chilling with him. He's chilling with the Joint Chief of Staff. Have y'all been watching that too? The Joint Chief of Staff is flipping up. A lot of these people are being demoted. One of them, it was a 4-star general. He had 4 jumps. Now he 3-star. What the fuck? Ain't this crazy? Have y'all been checking on that? The Joint Chiefs of Staff, they always making constant, I mean, movements on that shit, man. See, Donald Trump is more likely he with the he's the commander in chief as opposed to being the president right now. Hell yeah, I want that socialism. I want all them free hookers and blow. Shit, that shit don't exist in their society, do it? Dude, and socialism, does it even provide a room for entertainment like that? No, that's excess. That shit don't go. All of that shit is out the window, fam. Do some of y'all understand what democratic socialism really is? I know it was a joke, but do you really understand what that shit is, fam? That's like living in a prison society damn near. Anything excess, you gotta get that up. Everybody gotta get a piece. Huh? Smash that like. Giving every American $50,000 a year would drastically change the country, causing massive inflation and a surge in spending and a major shift in the workforce. Did somebody say they was gonna do that? Because it would too. And you know what? Every American that got $50,000 a year to do just like they do with the income tax. Not so good. They'll fuck it up. But I do say, what's going on, Moch, man? What's up with you, fam? Chilling, chilling. How's your day, man? Hey, Moch, you been out there in that smoke, man. Is that smoke affecting y'all up there where you at by your way? Because it's still here a little bit, but last week, man, that shit was crazy. What's up with you? I'm just cooling, fam. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. Okay. It's not too bad. One day last week we knocked off. Was it Thursday or Friday? That shit was crazy last Thursday or Friday, fam. John says, I think socialism enhances workers' power. We could still be in sweatshops. We still are in sweatshops. They just on the computer now or on your phone. There's still 12-hour days and no health care, no minimum wage. The same things you saying, John, that is still going on right now. Okay, what's going on with you? Phoenix, what's up with you? How's your day? Greatly appreciated. Phoenix just sent out some floating hearts, y'all. Not that I want socialism, but I could at least understand the appeal and people could actually explain and back up the idea, not sit there crickets chirping every time they get questioned about it, right? I met a Democratic socialist in when I was at the No Kings joint, and Shorty went 8 when I asked her. I said, "Yo," I said, "So you know that Hitler is a democratic socialist and yada yada." She went ham talking about, "Can you cut the camera up?" Man, I did, but you know what I mean, not to violate her rights, but she was talking about they was watching her. It was crazy. She was passing out these pamphlets. I got the video on my channel somewhere. It's in that No Kings rally. She went ham out there, but it's crazy, man. Yeah, sure. What's your idea? Two story 1982. What's your idea? Sure, tell me. I'll be your huckleberry. What is it? Once again, thanks, Phoenix, for that super support. Smash that like, y'all. Do I think Trump is a king? Nah, Trump is just a president. He ain't even got no power. He represent the military um industrial complex right now. Trump, what's up, Longbeard? Ah, you say you call me. What you say, Longbeard? You call me. Longbeard said you call me. Longbeard, what you got going out there in Cali, man? How you doing, man? You ain't cooking out this weekend. You deserve land in the South. Why don't I deserve just living in America comfortably and so you and get some they getting out the way and stop me from getting mine? I deserve land in the South and cities and towns you can call your own. Further explain that true story. Because the flip side of that is when somebody says you deserve that to be by yourself, where is the I mean, what they why do they want that? You gotta that's what you gotta ask yourself. Why does the person want you to be off by yourself and okay, getting the Harley tomorrow. Okay. You said it's too hot to barbecue shit. The weather went down on this side. They still got y'all data centers turned up. The weather went down over here. Y'all notice that they've been putting in these things to hold the data centers being built and them shit is getting cooler. What's the first thing you gonna do when you get that Harley, Longbeard? Now we need to separate to do more blame can be thrown at us. So no more blame can be thrown at us. Shit, there always be some form of manipulation, and no matter if you separate, if we just had segregation, it was separated, and we got all the blame. So nah, we need to just, as Americans, come together. Stop trying to separate. That's the problem. There should be no more separation. I'm not a racist anymore. I started hating everybody evenly across the board for sure. Much dude said we need to separate. Why do we need to separate? We need to just as Americans work together. Like, okay, get it painted. All right, what you gonna put like a Mexican chicken and sombrero on it? Two stop 1982. Why we don't deserve land on the West Coast or the East Coast? Right, right. But y'all know what? Two Story might be saying he might be speaking his own mind though. He might be on some propaganda shit. I can't do black and silver. I'm a Niner fan. Okay, 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 okay. So your shit gonna be gold, uh, burgundy, and white. See all that separation Two Story? That sounds like garbo. Because we are too deeply entwined right now as Americans to be thinking like that. You know what I mean? Only the strong survive and you know what I mean unity is where our power lies. You know what I mean? Okay. Is it gonna be the Buddhist watch ticker or what? MAGA love division. They would never change. Yeah, this dude Two Story, like, nah, dog. As Americans, that ain't gonna solve the problem. That'll make jealousy at the if so when they do get everything separated. That'll cause jealousy if one particular group gets more than the other, makes more than the other. That'll cause warfare. That's how wars are started. So why not in Americans we do it the same way and together? So shit, if everybody in our clique is rugged, can't nobody touch it. I don't know why y'all can't see that. Why don't we as Americans all work together to make everybody in the clique rugged? So when somebody run up on us, can't nobody fuck with us as Americans. It is. Are they running? The Mexicans that's coming out, smash that like y'all. Mexicans ain't going nowhere. I mean, some immigration and border policies, Trump has the Democrats used to believe the same thing. Smash that like. Are y'all tired of capitalism? What's up, Chet? What's up, Mulch? What's up, Infidel? And Two Story. Get over there and turn the notifications because you need some. You need to be unindoctrinated because you talking like a straight. You know what I'm saying? But it's on you though. Once a person, I mean, show you who they is, believe them. Y'all get over there and get that 1984 audio book too. That shit 50 cent, 53 cent from Barnes and Noble. If you ever wanted to read the book, now you can get your TikTok on. Get over there and get that. You know what I mean? Can y'all see that? Can anybody see that 1984 audio book? Or has it since moved on to something else? I have no problem with Hispanics. I have a problem with illegal immigrants. So you know that should include Germans, Irish, or anybody that's an illegal immigrant. You feel me? Have y'all heard about the people that were supposed to go to Jamaica? They went to Eswatini over in Africa. Eswatini used to be called, I can't even remember, but it was another country, but they changed their name. But they got deported to Eswatini and they don't even want to leave. It's crazy though how Trump and them was are deporting these people to other countries, not their country of origin. I do hate MAGA. They are fake Christian KKK edit out. So that makes me. So check this out, check. So why does everybody say that the Democrats started the KKK if MAGA is the KKK people now? You see how absurd that shit is. A white person never robbed me at gunpoint, stole from me, and bullied me. Whites never jumped me over something I didn't. Hey, True Story, I knew that you was a racist. One of those. I said it. I said, watch, he's something different. You came in talking, I mean, like you was an insurgent. Come to find out. Wow. Well, they should have had. You can't blame the black person that hurt you. You gotta blame yourself, Two Story, for being weak. Only the strong survive, family. So you can't blame the black person that hurt you. All he did was do what he was you know what I mean, learned behavior. Maybe that's all he knew was to rob and steal and plunder. Maybe he had some Viking in him. But you gotta blame yourself for him being able to do that. Win, lose, or draw, sometimes you gotta fight. So, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm trying to say, Two Story. It doesn't go by a color for robbers and thieves. They come in all colors, sizes, and also, but maybe you just wasn't that strong enough. You didn't have the heart, because no matter what, no color anybody is that trying to take something from me, I'm gonna fight. Smash that like. What's going on with your Bart? I saw that LeBron going to Philly. So does that mean next year we can look forward to a bunch of American flag shit? He about to go get Philly lit, lit, lit. The East Coast gonna be lit now. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? If Democrats were irrelevant, Trump would not be a panicking. MAGA is losing their MAGA, Democrats, all of that shit is irrelevant right now. Donald Trump is down with the military industrial complex. They don't have nothing to do with the congressmen and the senators. They got everything to do with getting the money and protecting America. Donald Trump got the big guns with him. That's why he's talking so much shit. He got guns with him. He has the military joint chiefs of staffs. They doing their military thing. Donald Trump ain't doing nothing for the people. Everything he's doing is military moves. If you can't see that, The military is allowing him to run amok with his vanity projects. He ain't done nothing, put no money towards near America, ain't eating nothing. But he's on air laughing at us saying, I made a couple of billion. Ah, that's what your boss does. He stands there and he got there going, smokes his cigar, blows the smoke in your face, and talk about how much he got paid because he cut costs and saved this and saved that. Even middle management does it. You don't get a Christmas bonus, so your middle management can meet their quota and get theirs. You see what I'm saying? Y'all gotta understand these things, man. Trump wants to be king of the world. No, he don't. He know, but guess what? Y'all don't realize. Trump realizes that his time is limited and it's a snatch and grab. Get as much as you can before the American people decide that they don't want you in there and we finish with you, because the military industrial complex has been running this country since at least since President Kennedy. No, I'm gonna say Eisenhower. You know what I mean, was the first example of it when we saw it laid out that when the military chose who's gonna be in power. They went and got Eisenhower, an ex-general. And y'all notice they always get somebody that might be having Alzheimer's or some shit. Why is MAGA so stupid? The same reason that the Democrats are so stupid. Trump don't love the military. He is down with the military, Bart. You're not poor because of Trump. You poor because you haven't found another route. You know what I mean? Whatever that route is that you're taking and is leading you to the poorhouse, you got to find a route that's going to lead you to that manyan. You just got to keep goddamn going traveling, homie. You can't blame shit on Trump in this economy. I'm going to keep it real. Trump is attributing to you paying a lot more for the products and the quality of the life that you want, but your economic shit, in a way, mm-mm. They got bullied by black kids. We talking about socialism and the economy. Guess what? The economy don't give a damn what color you is. He gonna price gouge your motherfucking ass. He gonna sell you fucked up fruit, diarrhea lettuce, just to get $1 out your ass. And then again, and if you want to play the race factor in the economy, everything that looks like is across the red line. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? In a subsidized, they're gonna, you know what I mean, short it anyway. You say they drilling more Long Beard. Turned down for what? Let me see. Let me look at the poll. What's up, stinky? Trump is drilling. Trump ain't drilling. Healthcare, rent, gas, food. Should it all be free in America? Yes, 19%. Yes, but no socialism or communism. 8%. No, work for it. 46%. Ain't nothing free. 27%. So okay, ain't nothing free and no work for it. Y'all got, you know what I mean? So salute, smash that like. If you haven't taken the poll, take the poll. No, I'm not tired of capitalism. I'm tired of capitalism without regulations and social mechanisms. Okay, Dennis, are you pro socialism? Islam gonna be running America. Shit, Subway ain't gonna get you no Corvette. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out, man. Okay, you say you know very well where oligarchy is. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out, man. Let's get this conversation popping. Are you tired of capitalism? I don't know though. I don't think Islam is gonna get a foothold in America substantial enough to run anything right now because y'all too Islamophobic for Islam to be running America. You guys are too Islamophobic. I bet you. I mean, because there's so many different kind of Americans that are opposed of. We'll be socialist. Let us go Islamic, and that's just it is what it is. We will be a socialist republic before they allow America to go full blown Sharia law. Although you know that, like I told y'all yesterday, when you say the sheriff has its origin in Sharia law. You are aware of that, right? The word sheriff. So we under some of their law already and not even knowing. You feel me? But shit, nope, Islamophobia. Because a lot of the shit that you quoting is like some shit that pertained to 500, 600 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's phobia. A lot of y'all are misinformed, even on your own country and government and the shit that they engaging in, let alone understanding a religion as opposed to being a government regime. Because a lot of times we're at war with Iran, and I say that meaning the military structure that's ran by Americans. Although we didn't ride around, we gotta get at them. No, we didn't ask for this war. I mean, but okay, we're on my own HVAC business. Okay, I already made in services. Get it how you live. Check, check, check. 1 2, check 1 2. But I mean, we got there going, being taught that Islam is bad and everybody in Islam is bad and stuff. You know what I mean? No, it won't, Bart, because one thing, if you ever studied Sharia law, because that depended on the Sharia law is only on extreme is Muslims. A lot of Muslims don't practice the Sharia law because of the extreme of it. You know what I mean? Because look at Mamdani, he's Muslim, right? And he's to the extreme. So what if all the Muslims agree to conform to that style of Islam before it radicalized? Because all Islam is not radical insurgents down to get their motherfucking swords and AKs in the game, you know what I mean? In the name of Allah. You gotta understand that um, Muslims and Christians got a great deal in common. They deal in peace. But it's the people that's, you know what I mean, practicing worshipers of it that deal in war and destruction and all kind of other stuff. I'm not sure. Is anybody in here MAGA that can clear up if MAGA wants less government control? Exactly. That's what I want to know. All right, John. Capitalism at its finest. Gas rose to 15 cents more. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking y'all. Are you tired of capitalism? And so, what are the alternatives? That's what we're talking about here today. Who do I call MAGA? Anybody that calls themselves MAGA. I don't just, hey, you're a MAGA because it's all different aspects of it. I know from the extreme to the wild. You know what I mean? If you really look into what MAGA is about, so there is no set mold. You know what I mean? Who do you call American? Can I ask you that? Who do you call American? What is better than capitalism? I mean, let's explore those things. That's why we're having this conversation. What would you consider? Do you consider anything that's better than capitalism, or was that a statement that you was making there, Bar? Smash that like y'all. Shout out everybody coming through too. Not all laws should be the same everywhere, but I think we need more universal laws like things like driving or weapons or drugs or alcohol. I think should be the same nationwide, and which they basically are. You see what I'm saying? They basically are across the board. It just depends on what's being monetized in those particular areas where you see the differentiation in the law, like places that have a high amount of gambling or um, maybe a resort or something like that. They will have different laws depending on what you know what I mean. But we're not in a utopian society though, fam. You say communism would be the best thing ever in a utopian society. We're not in a utopian society though. If the United States were to replace its constitutional system with Sharia law, it will fundamentally transform the nation into a theocracy, ending the separation of church and state free. That's why y'all know that Sharia law would not apply in America. It could be some people that maybe practice Sharia law being elected, but it would never be able to apply Sharia law to the Constitution unless you amended the Constitution. You know what I mean? Communism can work without the need of power and greed, but that's not happening. Exactly, Mud. It'll work, but without but when you have that but in it, I mean, no. You know, before alcohol was decriminalized, you know what I mean? They had all kind of stuff like laudanum, which was nothing but liquid heroin, and they rumored that cocaine was one of the original ingredients to Coca-Cola and all these other opioid like concoctions that came after the Civil War because they were just cutting people's legs off and so much stuff happened that it was PTSD was rampant among everybody. And from the people that went through the trauma of being a slave to the people that went through the trauma of fighting for the country or just, you know what I mean? It was everybody was looking for that comfort, that creature comfort. And it was like, you know, Sharia law, you say Sharia law for a civil war in America. Are y'all that close minded that y'all would not let nobody, because it would not be the United States of America if it was Sharia law? Y'all are aware of that, right? So it definitely would be a change. So it wouldn't even be need for a civil war. Kamalama, what's up? Communism assumes all people are good. I would agree communism is good if we live in a Disney movie. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying, Kamalama? No, I do not want to not be able to get paid. I mean, Gypsy says, Bart, MAGA supports Sharia law already. Anti-women's rights, anti-gay, Yup, they say it's nationalism, but they'll say it's nationalism. They will say it's nationalism. Can I ask y'all something sidebar? Would y'all consider nationalism being supremacy? Would you consider nationalism and supremacy the same thing? Smash that like. It's a wonderful life. That bullshit. You done got brainwashed. Y'all check out the book 1984. I got the audio book up there. Y'all get over there and check it out. Yeah, we got the audio book. I'm anti the debauchery it become. Okay. MAGA makes regular like a good president. MAGA ain't got no pull. They stood blindly behind Donald Trump while he forgot about them. Donald Trump all but left MAGA behind. He ain't on no MAGA type agenda right now. Donald Trump done left MAGA behind, dude. Name one thing he done for MAGA. What has Donald Trump done for MAGA? Nothing. Okay, it's gonna rifle through, but that too. Make sure you learn the art of war, family, before you try to engage. Smash that like. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Like, if gay was just a person, like someone that looks like them, fine, whatever, how did you not walking? All that shit is done by heterosexual people too, fam. You want to get this shirt right here? I got the link right there. You want to get it? Hold on. I'm going to post the link to it. There you go, fam. Can you see that? Can you see that link to the shirt? I don't know what does 556 mean. 8647. Ain't that something dealing with? I don't even know what that means. I thought it was that shit with the call me situation. Go get the link to that shirt right there, fam. Okay, salute, showing that super support. That's what it is, Cam. Pumping it up. Setting it off. Somebody get like Cam on that one. Double that up. Thanks for that super support, my G. Salute. Cam, can you see the link to that joint right there? Y'all light that up right there, man. Can you see the link to that? Yeah, that's my merch. Young vet. Okay. For y'all that want to get over there and get that Dump Trump now, man. There you go right now. On the back of it, it says now. Young vet, what's going on in Canada, man? Once again, salute for that super support, Camalama. What y'all think, man? Are you tired of capitalism? And we got the link to the Dump Trump shirts. Uh, Not too much on camera though. Now I'm getting to the point that I don't do a lot of smoking on camera, on live, cause that take away from the sponsorship. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Sponsors don't like the sponsorship like that. Okay, checkity check. Thanks for that super support, Munch Man. Check your eat a Snicker bar. Oh God. Check you 66. Eats the Snicker bars the long way. Oh my God, Becky. Look at her butt. Chunky. Alright, this is out, Munch Man. Greatly appreciate it. Quit your job if you don't want capitalism. Shit. While y'all bullshitting, what's your name? Is running out of money. Salute, March. Good looking out. One of y'all get over there and get one of them dump Trump shirts now joints. Because it was something like we got to move 100 of these and we'll change it to something anti-democrat. Oh yeah, I wear this shirt right here when I want to make Trump people mad. When I want to make people mad with Trump. Let me show you the shirt I wear. Look, when I want people mad with me, I'll put this on and they won't be able to understand it. I'll wear the Trump, the Trump Marina Hotel Casino. Motherfuckers be mad looking at like, what the fuck? I can't stand that man's face. Well, this ain't his face. This is this, you know what I mean? And this shit defunct now. The Trump Hotel Casino. Ain't no wrong with it. I'm against Trump policies. Trump doing what he gotta do, that's on him, man. When I become the president of whatever I'm the president of, don't tell me what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? And being an American, you don't have to agree with it either. Whatever he's doing. You do realize that, right? It's funny how he let them politicians play them right. Yeah, I think he should turf the shit out of the EU. Fuck the EU, Dennis. The EU is a part of the problem. I just showed you the sweatshirt, dude. The Trump, remember what shirt do I wear when he wanted to make both Trump and sure. This one, the Black Money Corp, that makes all of y'all mad. Yeah, the EU sucks, Cam. They just want some free money, man. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They want some free money. So then every politician is the problem then, because that's what all of them do. They rally the weak-minded people. Man, would y'all realize that we mixing up liberals and um, Democratic socialists are similarly liberals? Oh God, Roach man, probably so. You know, a lot of them come through here. Capitalism is the best. I bet you are posting all this ignorant fatigue shit from device clouded in capitalism. Who you talking to me, fam? Because you said that's like a socialist would say that shit. What you saying, Bradley? It sounds like you're pro-capitalist, but you know what I'm saying? You got all the fucking sense and no sense. Smash that like we got the Dump Trump joints popping off too, man. Get over there and get you one. But that's not why your dad's dead. He probably got just too old to keep on going. You know what I'm saying? He's not dead because of capitalism. Salute the pops, infidel. That's what it is. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kelly says greed is good. Okay. Bradley said my father died chasing capitalism like a good American. Okay, okay, okay. Mom Donnie, man, I think he is like he might be a plant because he seemingly like he's the lavender husband. Maybe he might be LGBTQ because you know they don't lock with the Democratic Socialists that's like the neo Nazis and stuff. And with the you know what I mean? It's just I believe he like he's Muslim, he's LGBTQ, and he's got that on Democratic Socialist. Like it's just too many variants with him. I feel like he a plant. Mr. Joe Moose says, "Let's go Trump." Capitalism isn't great. That's what it. I knew it. I knew it, Bradley. I told you was a socialist. Mr. Joe Mo, you say Trump is the greatest president we ever had. Can you name 3 reasons that Trump is the greatest president we ever had? ALC sucks. She don't need to be the president. I'm capitalism. Profit to feed my people, homie. I mean, yeah, Cam, I think he a setup because you see how he mingled with Donald Trump, and all that is another. They don't know how shit gonna work unless they do it. Okay. Now they're probably seeing that New York is the capital of the world and the heart of America. If it can work in New York, it can work in any other city because New York is an old, problematic, know what I mean, city. So I think it's just an experiment. Smash that like, yeah, I don't fuck with ALC, no doubt. Okay, number one has not a, he's not a politician. Number two, he loves America. He doesn't like conflict and ends it ASAP. You know who he sounds like? The military, dude. And that's who Donald Trump is, Bradley. Donald Trump is not the president right now. The president is his second job. His main focus now is the military industrial complex and everything they want him and Peach Headspeth to do. Look who his number one friend is, who's he always associated with. Not his vice president, Peach Headspeth, and changing the Department of War and all of that. Donald Trump has fully consigned himself to working for the military as opposed to the people, man. It's a typical guns and butter. They're spending more money on guns than butter in the physical year. If you understand it. Bradley crazy as hell. I like him too. He alright. I'm about to get Bradley a jacket because he's a nutball. Hey, is this Bradley from Arizona? Before I even do this, so sometimes it's this Bradley out there in okay, okay. What's going on, Yukon Bob out there in okay, I knew this was Bradley, but I gotta put a jacket on you here, getting going ham. Yeah, okay, yeah, I know who this is. Yo, what up with you? You gotta put a jacket on you. In here going ham. Smash that like Yukon Bob, chilling family. What's going on in Alaska, my G? I love capitalism my damn self. The Republican Party ain't my party. None of those parties is my party. But it's my party and I cry if I want to. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Bradley, see how I knew who you was? Your Arizona ass. That's what it is, family. You know, as an American, you should be able to express yourself, man. I don't see nothing wrong with it. And as long as you are not weaponizing it, you know what I mean? For sure. Shout out all my Americans coming through, man. If y'all want to get this Dump Trump shirt, I got the link posted right there. You say you're working a 9 to 4. That's what it is. Somebody said they're in East Mesa too. Infidel, you in East Mesa. Right, that's the only way you're gonna be able to make your dreams come true. And that's the thing, y'all remember. If you don't work on making your dreams come true, you're gonna be working on making somebody else's dreams come true. And you gotta find a way to make money in your sleep or you're gonna work till you die. Damn. Exactly, Bradley. Okay, it starts when you wake up and doesn't stop until you sleep. That's what it is. Right. The black people do not have a political party, which I think they shouldn't. Because it'll be more corruption, another corrupt ass, you know what I mean, interest base, you know what I mean? And then it'll box us in. It'll give somebody power over everybody who some things that black people agree with, other black peoples don't. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think we do have a party, the American party. We should all just be Americans. Yep, they donors and the lobbyists. Who got the best lobbyists? And whoever that's who gonna do what the lobbyists say, who kicking that money out. Okay. And what kind of work was you doing with your dad, fam? When y'all endeavored, what kind of work y'all was doing? Okay, drywall. Okay. I don't know if Trump wears diapers, Tom. Does he? I know they say he got a what's the lady name with the supposed to be his diaper nurse? I forgot her name, man. Okay, did you learn a lot from your dad in the drywall? You don't got to be Mexican to do drywall. I know a lot of black people who made a lot of good money in drywall, hanging it, and they probably got beat out of their money because of the money they're willing to accept, being that they was independent and then had the licenses and stuff. I know some good, you know what I mean, drywall hangers. Okay, infidel, that's right. Salute for that. I feel like the Dems just pander to every minority group to get extra votes. I don't think they give about anybody of any color. Exactly. As well as the Republicans don't. None of them care, dude. That's the main objective, to get money. And then when somebody else say, well, he's a good politician. Why? Who's paying him? Like, that's how good they are, how much somebody's paying them, dude. To be honest. They're going to be a good politician for who? Somebody that's kicking dough to them. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. Let's get them likes up, Jake. You said Mexicans are the best drywallers. Okay. Shout out everybody coming through from all over the country too, man. It's cool to have a different point of view from people in every corner of America stopping here. And the question we asking y'all, and I want y'all to leave a comment below too, Bradley, with your highly opinionated ass, and Cameron, my guy that gonna stocks and bonds, peoples, and Rob Mack, and all y'all, man, infidel. Leave a comment below on, are you tired of capitalism? The pros and cons of it, whether you pro capitalism or you against it. Um, Let me know below, right below this live stream when it's over. It's always interesting. I mean, different Americans take on things. That's how we're gonna be able to get this thing together as Americans, by politicking like this. I saw a team using stilts like a circus performer. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, but no, a lot of people use those stilts, especially when they're doing ceilings and shit, plastering. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that shit. I know exactly what you're talking about now. My brother was in Iraq and was murdered by a rat who called my brother an infidel. I'm still okay. So what was your brother doing in Iraq, and who was the rat that murdered him? You say you tired of people trying to enslave you, Rick. Can you further explain that to me? Where you say you tired of people trying to enslave you. Bradley, you did. Oh, you was in Iraq. Okay. Ooh, that's kind of harsh to say. And that is true though. Work hard, play hard, and support your fellow Americans. And that is true. And y'all know the ego flies on Friday. So before you give all your money to corporate America, drop some off into your respective communities and make sure they good. Oh, giving poor people. Okay. So who was he working for? Was he working for like Blackwater, Z, or some kind of independent mercenary group, or what? What was his? I mean, Rob Mack. Why? We not really in capitalism. The U.S. is really a plutarchy or a plutarchy. If you research, can you give me some information on it though? Just give me your brief synopsis on it, Rob. So we ain't got to research. What is a plutocracy? So I guess let's say Plutarch, the one of the great Greek people, Plutarch. Not Plato, Plutarch. So let's give me your assumption on the Plutarch theory, Rob Matt. Plutarchy. Harsh isn't the word I use. It was a job, and mine was to kill them. They killed me. Well, okay. You was a Marine, Bradley. So you got a how many anchor, globe, and eagles do you have on you, Bradley? But what is it, Cam? What is a Plutarchy? Okay, okay. The word comes from two Greek words, piotis meaning wealth and archon meaning to rule. It is a specific type of oligarchy, which means ruled by small group. Okay, that's dope. I gotta steal that. A Plutarchy. I understand it too. What you're saying it means. Okay. The Plutos is meaning wealth and arcane. Arcane is also rule, and arcane can also mean like mayhem. Okay, I never heard of it, but I'm in full agreement with it. Raw, that's what it is. That's what it is, Bradley. Plutocracy is a system in which the people with the most wealth control everything. Okay, got y'all, and that's true. If I'm not mistaken, okay, I have iron on my truck, my motorcycle, and helmet. Okay, what kind of motorcycle you got, Bradley? There's a couple of motorcycle riders in here. Um, Longbeard waiting on a jump right now. I think Longbeard waiting on the bike, and also my boy the Godfather. Mayhem sounds about right. Right. Rob Mack says when some people get very rich very fast, money and influence pool together. Campaign money, wealthy people can use large amounts of money to fund political campaigns and shape laws to protect money. Right? But the name Black Money has its origin in that. If y'all do y'all research on the name actual what Black Money is. Okay. Kawasaki. Well, money is the gateway to power. You feel me? Smash that like y'all. It's all to protect power because that's the only language we've been learning to speak, and everybody wants to be fluent in it. That money. You know what I'm saying? Everything was high during Obama and Biden. No one, but guess why? Only honestly, because when Obama and Biden was in power, the dollar was stronger. This dollar here is like 30 cent. Obama and them dollar was like 70 cent. You understand what I'm saying? So it had more buying power. Now where is a piece of 5 cent candy costs 25 cent, and back in Obama it was more like it probably would have been just double, like 10 cent. Everything is, I mean, yeah, it was because it's a different kind of dollar. Right now, with the event of so many cryptocurrencies and hedge funds to fund stuff like Elon Musk and SpaceX with our 401k plans and stuff, um that this dollar that's right now is loaned the fuck out. We probably 25% in that dollar. F that. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is foreign interest, family. You gotta know that each president has the control of the dollar. That's why they can set the Ben Bernanke dudes. They can get at them and get them a job or take them out their job because that's one of the other things that the president can come in and do. Tweak the system. Smash that like, man. Yeah, you can afford gas with Obama Rochelle because the dollar was stronger. Now it's so much competition for the dollar. Not to mention, like, what's that, BRICS or whatever that shit is that's with India in them. That's competition for the dollar. And also these up and coming countries that, like India, their competition for the dollar. Also China. China is, I mean, China is engulfing the world, dude. So, I mean, whether it be now or later, you feel me? Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. We're not trying to have a golden age. We're just trying to age. That's what I say. We should not be trying to have a golden age. We should just be trying to age, fam. Smash that like, man. Smash that like. Next time y'all out and about, go to your mom and pop shop and buy something. Yep. Because the eagle flies on Friday, family. That's, you know what I mean? Support your mom and pops. They don't want you to. Smash that like in the meantime. And if you ain't got over there and turned on the notification bells, make sure you get over there. Are you tired of capitalism? Look at India. India is making way more money than the colonizer, UK. UK is way down the bottom here. You see UK down the bottom. They ain't getting no money. You notice all of the NATO people is not getting no money. That's why slowly but surely you're gonna see the United States government and everything we do gonna be Asian. We're gonna go more to the Asian side of things now because the UK and them ain't getting no bread. Smash that like, y'all. India is not NATO. NATO, it can only be the North Atlantic trade. It's only the people that's in the North Atlantic. India ain't in the North Atlantic, fam. They're not NATO. They may be UN. India might be the United Nations, but they're not NATO. NATO is like the United States and Europe, dude. Now they're not NATO, and they're not allies either. The NATO is the damn allies besides Russia. NATO is the allies besides Russia. Smash that like. Yeah, the UN. India is, but you know what I'm saying? Look at the economies. The United Kingdom is not getting no bread, dude. Brazil was also a former colonized country that's got a bigger goddamn economy than the United Kingdom. You know what I mean? Damn, I don't see only other country that's associated with Europe that even has a foothold above a bunch of third world countries is Russia. Wow, and you know Russia is more Asian, whether you I mean believe it or not. Russia is more Asian as opposed to European because their concept of government is more Asiatic in their thinking. Smash that like, y'all. That's crazy. They ain't getting back. India got their hands in everything. Space. They got all the doctors. See, one thing about Indians, they know how to send money back home and to send their people abroad to take over certain, I mean, sectors in life. They got, you know what I mean? India, look at that shit. That ain't no damn. They kind of doing bad. They just got a lot of people. Those people comfortable in what the way they live. See, we as Americans, we're accustomed to a certain way we live. So that's why we always got that going critiquing what somebody else doing. Yep, okay. Germany in the middle with it. But still, you would think these people that's I mean would be the most richest people on the planet. Man, India they wouldn't have all this money if they wouldn't wasn't doing better than us damn near. Look, they almost catching us. India. India because India is right after China with and Mexico because everything we freelance it out. Remember, for the last 50 years, every time somebody calls somebody for some customer service, the people are in India because they speak a certain patois of English, like the United States. We speak a different patois, but it's all understandable. And they was looking for cheap labor. Indians are the Mexicans of Asia on the middle class level because they was doing all our grunt work, telling us how to operate our phones and from anything, how to bake a cake. Remember that? Anytime you call a call center, it was the Indian. Hello? Hello? You know what I'm saying? Smash that light, man. We've been freelancing out everything. We've been freelancing out everything in America, fam. Right. Yup, buy gold and silver. I don't think you should be buying land right now because land is kind of gimmicky now because they taking a lot of people land, manifest destiny for these data centers. Unless you can get that land at a cheap price and you doing it because you know that eventually they're going to want it as a data center and you flipping it because no matter what people say, they might be able to prolong it for a little bit, but the data centers are coming. Right, we profiting from it, but we're not profiting from it. The oligarchs whose replenishment centers who manage to save a lot of money by way of it is profiting from it. That's like sort of when they say Donald Trump gave a bunch of money to the HBCUs, so it benefited. He gave money to black people. No, white people even own the IPO for HBCUs, so he all he did was regurgitate some money. Y'all never understand that. Yeah, I would go with uh light gold if you can find it now at the price it's at now, or heavy silver, the line that gold. I would say heavy silver, light gold, and that SpaceX, because SpaceX is the all-time low, and I say that is gonna make room for a rise where they might make that nigga 10 times trillionaire. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. Right. Cause like gold right now, gold is at a high price, and unless that shit drop drastically, I say hold. Don't buy too much gold because it's gonna fluctuate in between that. You know what I mean, where is that right now? Y'all see how fast cryptocurrency and all that bullshit came and went. That was an experiment to see if y'all bite at that type of stuff. And yeah, y'all did. Smash that like y'all. Shut me out. Right. Anything tech, space, or even like healthcare also, cause motherfuckers get sick every day, B. Exactly. Y'all noticing Starlink is taking the place of like T-Mobile, Cricket, all those people are linked with Starlink because that's going straight to the source. It's sort of like how T-Mobile is all the products that you can buy in America without the brand label. So it's going straight to the source. But you also know that when you invest in Starlink, you also are investing in yourself. That's why I say go get the SpaceX and a few other companies that hover around them. Like wherever they get their products from, the SpaceX people, invest in those companies too. Because they stock gonna go up. Whoever SpaceX get their little whatever they doing they want tools from, you do. Starlink does have a phone company. T-Mobile and them are deeply entrenched with Starlink. They got a plan when you can get the Starlink. T-Mobile, Boost Mobile, all of them are just Starlink. It's no less like my Bell. Remember they had to break up my bell around with it 79 to 81 when they created Verizon and all those other little infrastructure phone companies since hence that they said my bell had a monopoly on the phones and shit. Starlink is owned by SpaceX. If you have SpaceX, you are already invested, right? But you know you can also get some of the Starlink or any of the little companies. I mean that associate with them too, Cam. You know they're gonna be. They might be even because they stock gonna split too. How much is SpaceX right now? Hold on, let me see. It might be like 139. You just never know. Today, SpaceX is oh shit. I'm gonna go get some of it. That shit is it opened at 116. Wow, that shit fell. I remember when it was hovering 160, 140 on the low end. Damn. That's the one I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wait it out. It's not. It opened up at like shit. On the initial opening, it was I think it was 160 or 140 something. But now I would say buy right now. Because that shit gonna split. Smash that like y'all, check out. You say Germany doing okay. Yup. You said it is to make it disappear. After you make a certain amount of money, the game is to make it disappear, not keep it in the bank for sure. Because if you don't see it, they're gonna make it disappear. I think nuclear energy stocks will become big in the next few years, boys, especially small reactors. Check on SMRNNE Constellation if anyone has any more they know anything about. Okay, the nuclear energy plants. Okay, I often wonder why doesn't Africa have a nuclear energy plant? Because they got the strongest, well, the second strongest river pool in the world, the Congo River. Do you know that if they put a nuclear plant on the Congo River, if not all of Africa, surely more than half. So I don't know why they, I mean, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Africa had to do for them. I'm in America, so how can we get together, y'all? Back to the scheduled programming. Are you tired of capitalism? Damn. And but this crazy right here. So the most communist of countries is the number one capitalist. Do y'all understand that? And that's what a lot of people that want to be communists basing their theories off of China. Let's get them lights up, y'all. Are you tired of capitalism? Are you tired of capitalism? China is a market economy, not traditional communists like in the Mao Zedong days. Okay. Okay, so it's a free market. I see they ain't got a bunch of copyright rules and it's basically like get in where you fit in. As long as you give the state what they owe or let the state regulate the shit. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of how India is. Have you ever seen how Indian people they don't use a bunch of machines? They are the machine. That's why they got a goddamn going crazy economy. Security being a big one, that part of the world isn't friendly worth engineers. The ecosystem Which part of the world ain't friendly, Bradley? Ain't one part of the world that ain't friendly. Yo, yep. The gambler always breaks even. Because he understands win, lose, or draw. When he wake up tomorrow morning, he's still gonna be a gambler. Yep. As long as the state can regulate and own any part, you can do whatever off most labor laws are terrible over there, right? But that's just like in America. If they can find a way to monetize it and tax it, they will allow you to do it. Remember, these bunny ratchets and all this stuff is like legalized prostitution in some form or fashion. You understand? If they can find a way to tax you, you can do it. Iraq is friendly. Iraq wasn't posing no threat before we attacked them, nor were Americans that I know running around saying, yo, we need to attack Iraq. So, you know what I mean? Would you be friendly right now if your borders were motherfucking breached and your coast was bombed and they trying to stop your money in the Strait of Hormuz for no reason, seemingly? Iraq wasn't no enemy before that. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about Iraq. Y'all was all pro-Palestinian crying, and when y'all won't crying about the Ukraine. And now, then when they first jumped off with it, when it was Operation Full Fury, all y'all was, they trying to free the Iraqis. They was in the streets. Kind of found out they was in the streets in Paraguay. It wasn't no daggone people in the streets in Iraq. They was huddled up with AKs. Like, what the fuck that happened? Because nobody, that came out of nowhere. Netanyahu was with Donald Trump. And then next thing you know, he gone. Iran was not a problem in 1970. Iran was a problem in 1979, dude. That's when that university shit happened. And that was a staged event. The United States and them was tired of the Shah anyway. He was too, I mean, a puppet. They needed some, I mean, they needed a reason to steal more of it. Or whatever they was doing. Yeah, I know it's right. They needed another reason to steal more of the shit, man. So they waited. Y'all know it's all a game to their benefit. Because the same people that y'all say they was at war with in 79, well, in 81, 82, 83, 84, they sold those same people missiles. Go check on the Iran-Contra scandal. Oliver North. You know what I mean? No, go after 1979 when they were supposed to be in that war with these people. Iran had Israeli and the United States missiles firing them at Iraq, in which Iraq had United States and Israeli weapons and missiles following them, firing them at Iran. Okay? They funded both sides of the war because it's a money-making mission. You know what I mean? And then they funded the Sandinistas and the Contras in Central America and South America with the socialism and, you know what I mean, all that stuff. FARC over there in Colombia. They haven't been a problem. Those people is trying to live. I don't see how somebody could come in here and try to make it seem like you even wanted to go to war just one time with them. Like, fuck that. You know we ain't never get at them Iranian cats. It's crazy. It's a money mission. It's a military-minded money mission. If you can understand it. No United States peoples don't want that. He's not being the president right now. Donald Trump is exercising his commander-in-chief part of his job. What are you talking about? It ain't even a matter of money and gold. That shit gonna come anyway. If they want that, they'll just take it. This is a matter of the terraformer controlling the land, the whole shit. Ain't no money and gold. They'll take that shit. It's power, family. Them Muslim people ain't, just think, Muslim people ain't got no gold, and they don't give a fuck about goddamn oil. That's the oligarchs over there in Iran. That's the people we not thinking about. That's who the motherfuckers, I mean, ain't no oligarchs. The United States in them. They got everything. They want the power, dog. Muslim, you don't hear no Muslim clerics running through with the kufi on and shit, going through the oil wells. Nah, them is scientists and engineers funded by the United Nations or some shit. Come on, man. Bradley is somebody with combat experience. If we went boots on the ground in Iran, do you think it would be significantly worse than the previous Middle Eastern wars? Yes, we have a place in Kuwait because they were stealing oil and Iraq came to take it back with Bush Sr. Got a base and a foothold. Right, but then we go into Iraq and take out all, I mean, of the Husseins. We fund them. See that? You see what I'm saying? It's sort of like how they treat drug dealers in the United States. Because I ain't gonna say the hood, because they treat all these drug dealers like that. They'll put you in place and let you impede and commit all kind of shit to build up these huge, crazy organizations, almost making more money than Fortune 500 companies. And then when they get rid of you, they'll put somebody else in place. I mean, it's the same tactics all over the world that they're practicing. Shit, evidently we ain't learned enough. The Iranians learned more from the Ukrainians than we did because we supposed to have taught the Ukrainians, you think? Remember, before the Ukrainians was creating their own drones, we was giving them the parts. Okay, before Donald Trump stepped in, they had amassed so much stuff that was only in our, I mean, that's our military industrial complex. They get to take the credit, but remember, we was funding them before Donald Trump came in now. We was funding them. We probably still are to a certain extent. But a lot of people in Europe are looking at Ukraine as a model on how to, you know what I mean, what's the future of warfare, because they've been doing it. Future warfare, that's why they want you to be 43 years old smoking weed in the military, because now they need you to be able to play Call of Duty real good because your mind already desensitized. And then they got y'all slowly but surely doing the drones and the AI shit on Call of Duty. Now y'all masters at it, so you can go drop 1,000 bombs and kill all these people, and they'll tell you, yeah, you just playing Call of Duty. And you really out there murking some shit. They can, you know what I'm saying? You understand? You understand my logic on that? They know that y'all are desensitized this that much. But boots on the ground, our soldiers are elite. They only have a few Marines. They only have a few airborne. You know what I mean? It's in a million type of shit, but it's they are elite, and if we can do it less as possible, like with this futuristic shit, they'll go with that all day before they send some motherfucking trained motherfuckers out there. You know what I'm saying? And we have boots on the ground in Iran. The loss of life will be high on both sides. Yep. However, we eliminated their military and air power, and on the sky, they will resort to guerrilla warfare, right? And then they'll resort to this type of shit where that's what people are always scared of, like the wild Muslims and shit. That's when they'll resort to that type of shit to get us out of there. Believe that they will keep on fighting to the end, fam. These people have been fighting since antiquity, man. But you know the main place they keep keying in on with Iran, which I think they might got somewhere secret that we don't know. But the main places they're keying in Iran is that area where they got their shipyard at, and most of their naval stuff that just dealing with the Strait of Hormuz, especially. It's called that Addis. Hold on, Addis, Basa Addis. You know what I mean? Basa Abbas is also a place where a lot of black people at, by way of the I'm still trying to find the name of that joint. Banda Abbas. Banda Abbas. You know anything Abbas, that's Ethiopian in its origin. Abbas. Like Addis Abbas. Smash that like you ain't hear it from me, man. Go do some research on that. But there was like the schoolgirls they keep saying they killed from the Iranians. They were black schoolgirls in Bandar Abbas. And that's what the bulk of the Iranian Navy and how they get down on the water is. That's why we keep attacking those spots. Well, Iran is not the desert, Bradley. That's not. Are you sure you was in the military? Iran is not the desert. You say kill it in the desert. Iran can be like jungle, and it's mostly mountainous and hilly. It ain't got nothing to do with the desert. Iran got some, and then if you really want to have a substantial impact, you're gonna have to be urban warfare in the city, street for street, block for block. You talking about goddamn on the desert? What do you think they fight in Libya? Bradley, I don't think you was in the military either, fam. I hope you ain't got no stolen valor, man. Where'd you do your service at? You got me like the fucking Marines that be in here now, dude. You talking about the desert? They're not gonna be fighting in no damn desert. Iran ain't the Middle East, man. That's depending on who's got there gonna judge you as the real deal. No, it's not. Iran ain't the Middle East, man. Iran is like part of the cradle of civilization, man. No, Iran is more Asian. The that Indus Valley, man. Nah, Europeans start calling Northern Africa, and which encompasses from Saudi Arabia and those all those lands to Africa. They start calling that shit the middle there, the Middle East, after Lawrence of Arabia, so they can colonize that stuff, man. Nah, dog. I don't think he was in the military either, Bradley. You don't really know a lot of that stuff, but it's not me to judge you. That's what it is. No, it's not, man. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out. 7 of y'all in here, man. Let's get them likes up, fam. Let's get them likes up. We ain't talking about Ohio. See, you just like Charlie Kirk. You'll say some shit, and then you'll try to say something else shit that got there gonna double talk. Nah, fam. I ain't with it, I ain't with it, I ain't with it. Smash that like, y'all. Shout me out, man. Are you tired of capitalism? Ain't nothing free. Let me read the poll right quick. Healthcare, rent, gas, food, should it all be free in America? Yes, 27%. Yes, but no socialism and communism, 7%. No, work for it, 32%. Ain't nothing free, 34%. Okay, thanks for taking that poll. Make sure y'all taking a poll, man. The work week. Space, that's what's up with you, fam. Now what you gonna do with the rest of your week, Space? What you gonna do? Peace. Keep fire! Chillin', fam. What's up with you, fam? What you got going on, fire? Okay, where y'all going that fishing, Space? Is it fresh water, salt water? Know what I'm saying? Are y'all going to the creek, the gully somewhere where you know, like, oh, y'all going on one of them paid fishing trips where you gotta go out on the boat? Okay, what y'all fishing? Old habits are hard to break. You know what I'm saying? Okay, fresh water. Also, Google 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines from 205 to 209. It will tell my tale nicely. I was with Dark Side. I'm indeed a combat veteran. More than man. weapons company, 81's platform, 2 pumps to. All right. Okay, so you had the mortar. So, poof. Or did you? Okay, does the mortar man? You know, I know y'all do the little mortar shit. Poof. So you must be good the with the horizon engaging trajectory, being a good mortar man. Okay, catfish. Is it catch and release space dust or do you keep them? Okay, okay, okay. Do the mortar man? Do they also carry the fucking the grenade launchers on their guns? That seems like it would be all let me wrapped up in one. But yeah, I'm familiar with the mortars. I can't answer the poll. It's a loaded question. I think for people who can't provide for themselves, those things should be provided for them. Yes, says Space Dust. Okay. Hey Bradley, did you get over there to discourse? Do you have discourse? Because Nightbot dropping the link to the discourse over there. And pretty soon we're gonna have Space Dust playing a good time, man. Oh yeah, then why are you here, T Mitchell? T Mitchell, it does matter to you. You just said Trump. But why are you here if none of this matters to you? Okay, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Bradley, yeah, I'm proficient with it, you know. But I ain't did no military time. I just like, you know what I mean, weapons. But that's what I was asking. It seemed like that would go with the mortar. Cause that poof, poof, poof. And guess how I know that? From playing military games. Cause that sound when that motherfucker go that poof, that poof. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That's why they got y'all playing a bunch of Call of Duties and now seemingly Grand Theft Auto. So they're gonna need y'all to be hackers and all this other wild shit. And what's up with you, fam? And what's up, dog? I ain't heard from you, boy. Okay, so you was a coyote. Okay, so you must got recon in your jacket. You was good at recon. That's what it is, Ian. That's what it is, family. How's everything going for you today? Okay, okay. T. Mitchell, you say you're a proud MAGA. Okay, just infantry. All right, all right. Proud non-MAGA here says Space Dust. Okay. Okay, who died, Ian? Wow, getting his suit clean. Hard right, what's going on? Hope you're having a good day. My son-in-law has returned from a deployment in the Strait. I will get all the war stories. Okay, make sure you come back. What did he came back from? Hard right. Where did he come back in at? Where did his ship come back in? What's his story right now? Because I know a lot of them are coming back right now. Okay, that's why you became an instructor. So what was you an instructor at? Did you do any service at Paris Island? What was you an instructor at? Smash that like y'all. All right, Bradley. One of my coworkers were working some storm trees, had a limb fall on him, and it broke. What was this recently? My condolences, man. Wow, that's heavy. That is heavy. Okay, yeah, I see the mine hunters all the time. What he came back to? Norfolk Naval Station. Did he come back into Norfolk Naval Station? Okay, 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 yeah. I see them Jones all the time. Salute. Damn, Ian. Did he have family? Yeah, I know a lot of them just came back in, man. What part of the country you say you in hard, right? Hey, hard, right? You got any more inventions, man? When the last time you worked on an invention? Hey, Ian, have you been over there to Hard Right channel? Hard Right has the can crusher called the Majoner. The Joner. Like Thor's hammer. Damn, my wife and two kids in college, so he was an OG too. Smash that like, y'all. Damn, my boss just cost me a $200 mini deal because he won't take 1,600 profit. What the fuck this dude getting? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Especially in this climate camp. Damn, damn. He was almost there. That's crazy. Well, did y'all take up a collection plate or something like that for him, Ian? If they got a GoFundMe or anything in? Okay, okay, because that's what they need y'all now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Right now, at this pivotal point where they lost their head of their household, they need y'all, man. Smash that like, y'all. Share me out, man. Are you tired of capitalism? Mark Wallace says, no. Why not, Mark? Damn, man. Hard right. When the last time did you have you been to Norfolk Naval Station? Smash that like. All right, hit me up, definitely. Hit me up in a couple of weeks. Hit me on my Gmail, hard right, all right? My Gmail is on my channel. Smash that like, y'all. And hard right, was you ever in the military? Okay, okay. Oh yeah, what you got going on when you do come to here, hard right? What you coming here for? A family function or something like that? Smash that like. Are you tired of capitalism? The Lower East Side or what? Norfolk? Lower East Side. What do they consider the Lower East Side? What they, I mean, not giving me pinpoint, but where they at in Norfolk? What do they consider the Lower East Side? Did you see my No Kings rally? I was downtown in that city right there at the No Kings rally. Also, when I gave out the free water, that's in that city too. What do you consider the Lower East Side? How far they live from downtown Norfolk? Okay, how far are they from downtown? Smash that like. For sure, family. For sure. Just let me know. You know what I mean? And I'm on every spectrum too. And we going PBR and you know what I'm saying? Or if we go St. Pauli's girl, it doesn't matter. You know they got a lot of different um pubs, bars. You know what I mean? I got a good lay of the land, a good grasp of it, family. You know what I mean? Somewhere, anywhere in the city of Norfolk though is cool and laid back as long as you ain't looking for trouble or anything like that. It is what it is. It depends on how you party. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, like a little loud music and dancing women, they have that. If you like a laid back chilling affair, they have that. You just sipping on wine on the veranda, they have that. You just gotta let me know, fam. I'm everyday people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna know where it's at. And if you really try to do something obscure and that you're not really out of the norm, that too, family. So yeah, hit me up, fam. We can do some. I mean, we gonna hang out. I'm gonna hold you to that heart, right? At least, we gonna get up one of these days you're here in this area. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Be quiet. Tonight is the night as we ride. All right, fam. Take care, my G. Holler at me like I told you on the Gmail too, fam. Smash that like, y'all. Are you tired of capitalism? Let me see here, y'all. We might be wrapping this one up, man. Matter of fact, yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna be back at y'all with another, you know what I mean, dope conversation. Make sure y'all get over there and turn the notification. Make sure you leave a comment below. And if they got the hype button on this, y'all start hyping some of these up. Even the ones that catch me on the playback. Look, are you tired of capitalism? What's your opinion? Your opinion is greatly appreciated.